Creamer Media's Mining Weekly Online is talking to Anton Wheeler, the chairman of a new association called the Mining Equipment Manufacturers Association, or MEMSA, and also managing director of mining equipment company ART. Anton, can you tell us about MEMSA? How was this formed and what is its aim?
Morning, Martin. MEMSA was an initiative by the DTI. What the DTI wants to promote is local manufacturing. So the DTI invited a couple of OEMs, specifically in the mining business. That's why we called mining equipment manufacturing. So this organization started about 6 months ago, and we had a couple of meetings with the DTI. The next step is to establish a Section 21 company, to appoint a CEO. The DTI has provided funds for us for the first 3 years as a trial period to see how this is going to pan out. It is a European idea, if I can call it that, and the aim and the objective of the idea is that we as local OEMs assist and help each other and grow this business. Number one. Number two is to influence government with regulatory policies and legislation. So that is the main aim of this new organization.
And how many members does it have? And do you have to be a mining equipment manufacturer to be a member?
You must be a mining equipment manufacturer. There are certain rules to it. You must be a South African-owned company. You must be 65% localized in terms of your product that you manufacture. Currently, we've got 20 members on our list, and that will probably grow very quickly throughout the year.
And are these niche players, or do you have sort of broad players as well? What do these equipment suites offer?
We've got from steel manufacturing, complete equipment manufacturing, trackless equipment manufacturers, rail-bound equipment manufacturers, pump equipment manufacturers, battery equipment manufacturers. So it's a vast range of equipment that's been used underground in mines.
And this can relate to the modernization of the mining industry. Are you able to modernize the mining industry in order to extend its horizon?
Absolutely. That's one of our main aims, in conjunction with the Mining Pekisa initiative, that we work together with a new hub that government is going to establish at Auckland Park, at the old CSI Centre, where there will be research and development done. And we as local OEMs will work closely with that hub and as MEMSA to develop specific equipment that's required in extra low profile mines.
Extra low profile mines, that is a key word, because we have very narrow reef here, which one assumes has to be done with the handheld drill and explosives, a drill and blast. Are we cracking the code when it comes to mining these narrow stopes in a modern way?
Not yet. We've got various projects in the country on the go, where a lot of manufacturers are testing and trialing extra low profile and ultra low profile equipment. But up to now, no one was successful in the sense of being cost effective, being safe, removing the person totally out of the front, and have large volumes that they can mine, because mining is a volume game. Grade is an issue. With handheld, you can follow your reef more easily. When you start mechanizing, you must be very careful that you don't dilute your ore body, your ore that you mine.
And this government-owned R&D hub at Auckland Park, where the CSIR used to operate, when do you think that will begin functioning?
Martin, according to the government, that will be in the next quarter. There's already money allocated for it, 23 million. At our next Mining Pekiza meeting, which is in April, we will hopefully get feedback and get exposed to the schedule and plans of this hub.
And you are Managing Director of ART, which is a 65% black-owned mining equipment manufacturer. Will you be able to have access to this hub? If you want to do special R&D, will you be able to take a section of this hub and do special work that could make us a leader in this narrow vein mining?
Absolutely. You know, we must still understand how this hub is going to operate. But we as OEMs don't have laboratories. So we can't do tests of components. So I see it that we will still do our own R&D, but to design and test certain components in laboratories will have to be done there. So that is my one viewpoint about the hub. The other viewpoint is that this is where we get together as OEMs. And you will manufacture the drivetrain, that guy will do the steel work, that guy will provide the batteries, and so we put a battery LHD or whatever together, and that's also one of the objectives.
And getting back to ART, you already produce low-profile equipment, and that is used to mine in a modern sense in chrome mines and platinum mines. Can you give us some insight into that?
We've been in the platinum and the chrome business for very long in the low-profile business. We are fortunate that on the western eastern limb, you get your 2-meter wide stoping widths. And also some new projects like Ivanhoe, which is not a low-profile mine, but can also be mined mechanized. And yes, we're in the market for many years on those mines, and still continue to be in the market.
And then on the standard equipment side, and you know, going into gold, etc., or diamonds with Petra and Goldfields, what sort of equipment can South Africans and particularly ART offer in that arena?
Martin, we can offer 80% of the equipment. We are limited to the size currently in South Africa because we end up at a 33-ton dump truck and a 10-ton LHD. That, by the way, is one of our long-term strategies, ART, that the next step is to move to a 15, 17-ton LHD and a 14-ton dump truck. That's already on the drawing table. So mines like Palaborwa and some diamond mines require bigger equipment. We can do the remotely controlled operating thing, so that is not the issue. Our drill rigs and long-haul drill rigs can be used in any of those mines. So we are set up currently for increasing our market share, specifically in the bigger size equipment.
And what about Africa? Is there demand building up for locally manufactured mining equipment for use in African mining?
We definitely see Africa's opportunity. We've been in Zambia now for more than 4 years. Unfortunately, as you know, the copper market fell completely out. The underground mines, some of them are care and maintenance, some of them has reduced production by 50%, but we're still there. The copper price will pick up, and then we will be back in that market. In Ghana, Newmont is now going underground, so we are very close to them to get in there. So we are in Tanzania in the gold mines. So Africa is definitely one of our biggest opportunities.
Now, South Africans tend to be quite well versed in underground mining. Africa has a lot of open cast mining. Is Africa destined to go underground, and could our equipment go into that space?
For any ore body, you start off open cast mining it, normally with contractors. But at some time during the mine's life, they must go underground. And that is where we will fill the space.
Fantastic. And it seems as though government and business is working pretty closely here. I didn't realize they were this close. Do you think we're entering a new era of cooperation between government and business and the promotion of South Africa Incorporated?
Absolutely. I haven't seen government so involved with mining houses and locally manufacturers. There is definitely a mandate from the DTI, the DST, the department in the presidency, the DMR, that local manufacturing must be promoted, local mining's lives must be extended, otherwise we're going to fall off the cliff.
And will this equipment thrust extend the lives and the opportunity and the horizon of our local mines and create a sunrise from a sunset?
I am very optimistic that that will happen.
And of course it has to come against the background of better commodity prices, but we know that mining is a cyclical business which goes up and it goes down. It is now down, so it's the turn at some stage to go back up.
Well, there are signs already that we are in the bottom of the trough. So we know as OEMs that now is the time to position yourself for when the upturns comes. Now's the time to do that R&D. Now's the time to develop new ultra-low profile machines. Now's the time to work with global OEMs and to localize some of their products for XLP and ULP equipment.
That partnership seems important to me. We've had a lot of international OEMs that have been around here for a long time, and they might have a local manufacturing element to them, which could also qualify them perhaps to be part of this association. But you say you have to have a special South African link in terms of 65% South African.
Yes. Unfortunately, in our investigation into all OEMs, all the global OEMs did not meet the criteria, mainly because of that 65% local content. We won't be able ever to be a 100% local content manufacturer, because there are certain components that South Africa do not manufacture. They do not manufacture transmissions and axles and engines. We have to import it from Europe or America for that matter. So, and the government understands that. The government also understands that because of the local manufacturers just supplying South Africa initially, our product ranges are not that big than local global manufacturers, and that there will be a space for them always. We cannot fill the complete mining spectrum of products.
There's also a thrust going on with government and DTI promoting the fuel cell, which could be an engine of the future. Now we're looking futuristic here, but I think one has to look into the future. The world is talking about metal oil in the future, and platinum plays a particular role in a fuel cell. Could fuel cells not power some of these new suites of equipment that are coming out here as part of our modernization program?
Most definitely. Anglo-American or Anglo-Platinum already has got a battery-operated fuel cell underground. They've also got a ULP dozer underground that works with the fuel cell. One of the mining houses, which is a platinum house, they approach us to design a fuel cell operated LHD that we're busy with. We're currently busy in talks with the DTI to get funding for this. The DTI is very excited about this project. So hopefully in a year's time when I sit here, I can tell you we've got a fuel cell operated LHD underground.
And would that lift that 65% in terms of having a different type of driver for your vehicle that could have a local content?
Definitely, because some portions of the drivetrain we will have to import, but the fuel cell can be manufactured in South Africa. It is not a technology that can't be transferred to South Africa. And some mining houses think about establishing businesses here to manufacture fuel cells.
And Art, it's a new company, new name, but it has quite a history because it links up directly to the Boort Longyear of old. Anglo-Americans Boort Longyear, which dispensed with hard rock activities and drilling, which you really grasped and moved. Can you give us some insight into that?
Yeah, many people don't know the history of art, but art actually started in 1983 in the Boort Longyear days, when Boort that manufactured pneumatic rock drills, probably for 90% of the South African market, decided they've got the drilling consumables. Hydraulic drill rigs is now coming onto the market. They want to manufacture, design and manufacture a hydraulic rock drill. So they sent a team of people to England and they designed a range of hydraulic rock drills. That was back in 1983. As time goes on, Boort Longyear bought the rights to UV IP, to LHD IP, and started manufacturing it in South Africa. When Anglo-American sold Boort off in 2005, that mining capital equipment business went with Boort. Boort 3 years later decided that that's not part of their core business, and they sold the mining capital equipment business off. And so our biggest shareholders now is Matthises and Nedbank Private Equity.
And this MEMSA and local OEMs numbering about 20, are they all in hard rock, or does this cover the full spectrum of metals and minerals in South Africa?
Full spectrum.
And are they liaising with each other to perhaps work with each other in the R&D sense, in the hub? Could there be sort of linkages that would promote each other's businesses?
I think so, Martin. Through this association that we've just started, we as ART already identified one of the companies that sits on MEMSA, where they can assist us with flame proofing. So already there's some benefit for ART, and hopefully for the other OEMs as well.
And finally, you're speaking about next month, which is pretty soon, where the implementation of some of the ideas of Pakisa, which took place last year, are going to be given some additional momentum. What do you expect from the April meeting?
The April meeting is going to be a very important meeting because that's the first meeting after Pakisa. So there we will discuss the results, the outcome, and the way forward. The government will be there in the departments I've mentioned. Mining houses will be there, and OEMs will be there. So that will be a workshop where we will understand what is required in the mining business, what is required from OEMs, what do we require from government, and I'm very excited about this because this is not just a feedback session and there it stops. This is the beginning of a new process for South Africa.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly Online, talking to Anton Wheeler, the chairman of Mining Equipment Manufacturing South Africa, known as MEMSA.